Hey guys, it's Derek from MetricFire. Today I'll be showing you guys how to set up StatsD and displaying it on Grafana using MetricFire. StatsD is a monitoring solution for custom metrics, and these custom metrics can only be in counters, gauges, timers, and sets. And these are data types defined by StatsD. StatsD requires a client library, so usually you would install the one that is your app's backend language. For example, if you're using a Golang backend, you can search for a Golang StatsD client. Or if using a JavaScript backend, you can search for JavaScript StatsD client. You can also have several different backends to send StatsD metrics to one place, aggregate them, then display them on a monitoring backend like Grafana, like in this chart. This video will be demonstrating in a Django app, so I'll be using Python's StatsD client. MetricFire hosts StatsD for us. This will not only save us setup time for StatsD, but also the headache of routing or firewall issues. So if you haven't done it yet, you can sign up for a 14-day free trial at this link or in the description link below. I'll be using Heroku to deploy a Django app for this video's example. Here's a quick rundown of the app. This is the home page of my app. I kept things really simple, so hopefully you can follow along whether you know Django or not. We have only two links on this app. One is a sponsored ad link that goes to another page with an advert. And we also have a blogs link that goes to our blog page. Now what I want to do is track some metrics on this app. The first one will be how many times a page was requested for the home page, the advert page, and the blog page. The second is a timer for the API on a blog page. I want to track how long it takes for an API call to respond in order to load the page. First, we need to go to our MetricFire account and enable StatsD. So we just log in here, and then you'll come to a dashboard that looks like this. Then we go to add-ons, and then add-ons, and then StatsD. I already have it enabled, but if it is the first time for you, there will be a button for you to enable it. Keep this page up as we will need the information here later on. Next, let's install our StatsD client library. For Python, it is pip install StatsD. I already have it installed, but for you, it'll actually install. Then let's start off by tracking page requests for the 3 locations that we talked about earlier. So let's import StatsD. And over here, when we are creating our client, we will need the information from our MetricFire account that I mentioned earlier. You will need a URL, the port number, and also your prefix / API key. Over here, I've added an increment to a counter labeled statsd demo.metric.home.request, and also one for advert as well. Here's my blogs view, and I've also added a counter here as well. Lastly, let's add a timer for metric for pretend API call. And here's the code for timing our pretend API. As you can see, StatsD is just creating a client that is set to send metrics to a location and a line of code that goes before or after an action or event. Now let's deploy this to Heroku, and it should be set up to send metrics to our MetricFire account. And let's check to see if our app is working. And let's hit some buttons just to make sure our StatsD is actually working. So let's confirm that our metrics are being sent by going to metrics and metric tree map. Here we should see counters and our label for our StatsD metric. You can see that we have our advert, blogs, and home. Next, let's display this on our Grafana dashboard. And here we can see that our API call for the blog is taking a while, at around 3 seconds. And say you wanted to reduce it, so when we change something, we can see if it improved or not. And also combining this with GitHub annotations, we can even track when a commit affects the graph positively or negatively. And over here we can see that our ad page doesn't get as much hits as our blog page. So maybe we can make a decision to merge the ad onto the blog page to get more traffic there. These are just some small examples of what you can do with StatsD. I hope this video helped you guys get started with StatsD. Check out our 14-day free trial with MetricFire and some of our blogs in the description links below.